you doing? I'm David Sanchisi, and I'm here to talk about the news of the day. All right, I'm going to get into the fact that something is going on at Southwest Airlines. The mainstream media and, of course, the mainstream pundits say something other than it would potentially be. There's some theory that it's a staged walkout. They're getting ready because vax mandates are coming to the airlines, and this is the pilots, the air traffic controllers fighting back. So we really can't confirm anything, but it seems like this is where it's leading, because if you listen to the reason why the airline said they canceled the flights, it just doesn't add up. Let me read this to you right now. Let's get into this. Southwest Airlines cancels 1,800 flights, blaming the weather and staffing. Now, maybe I'm just naive, but if it was the weather, wouldn't other airlines have canceled flights? If you look, Southwest Airlines is the only one that did it. Also, there'd be thousands more from potentially other states as well. But again, the only place it happened was in that couple of areas that it did. Southwest Airlines canceled more than 1,800 flights this weekend, disrupting the travel plans of thousands of customers and stranding flight crews. The airline blamed the meltdown on a combination of bad weather, air traffic control issues, and its own shortage of available staff. I know this is incredibly difficult for all of you, and our customers are not happy. Alan Kashner, Executive Vice President of Daily Flight Operations, told staff in a note on Sunday, which was seen by CNBC. The airline said initial problems on bad weather and an FAA-imposed air traffic management problem were to blame. Although we were staffed for the weekend, we could not anticipate the significant disruption that was created from unexpected ATC issues and bad weather across Florida stations, said Kashner. Other airlines canceled relatively few flights. Southwest did not comment on the disparity. Of course, they wouldn't, because they cannot admit what happened. Also, the sad part is the union can't come out right and say it, because it would be illegal for them to take an action as such. It's funny how the government can take illegal actions, but the unions cannot. Other airlines canceled relatively few flights. All right, the Federal Aviation Administration said there were a few hours of flight delays on Friday afternoon because of severe weather and staffing issues at Jacksonville Air Route Traffic Control Center, which controls airspace in 5 parts of Alabama, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and South Carolina. No FAA traffic standing shortage have been reported since Friday, the FAA said. Some airlines continue to experience scheduling challenges due to aircraft and crews being out of place. Please contact the airlines for details about current flight schedules. So you heard all this. Now I want to show you what a pilot himself said, and I always seem to go to the source. The source themselves will usually tell you what's going on. And here goes a pilot speaking out against vaccine mandates. Listen to what he has to say.
I've been an airline pilot for 18 years, and now I'm facing an ultimatum. Not a choice, but an ultimatum. I'm being told in order to continue my career as an airline pilot, I must be vaccinated, which really means I have to choose between putting food on the table for my family and my freedom of choice. Whether you believe in vaccination is the right thing to do or not, the situation goes far beyond health. We, the American people, have fought for freedom for 257 years. We go around the world spreading ideas of freedom and democracy. We help other countries and people fight for their freedoms, while ours are being stripped away. You may think being forced to wear a mask or get a vaccination is insignificant, but when you begin to compile mandate after mandate and loss of freedom after freedom, it becomes very significant. As each thing is taken away, we face what is known as the shifting baseline syndrome. This syndrome changes our idea of a new and acceptable normal. Soon, we will not remember what it was like to have the freedoms we once did. Our children and our grandchildren will experience less freedom, and they won't have the privilege or the pleasure to enjoy the same choices our parents had or that we have. If we give into these mandates and we do not stand up for our freedom of choice, we dishonor every armed service person over the last 257 years. A disservice to the people who have fought and bled for the very freedoms we enjoy. Whether you believe in vaccination or not, I'm standing up for your freedom of choice. You may support the vaccine mandates because they fall in line with your current beliefs. But if we let this happen now, there will be a day when what you're told to do will not fall in line with your beliefs. If we do not stand together and fight back in one voice, soon we could be told where to live, what job we will do, what religion to believe, and how many children we can have. Do you really want someone telling your children or your grandchildren what, when, and how they will live every minute of their lives? It's time we take a stance. It's time we fight for our freedom of choice while we still can. Join us. Visit usfreedomflyers.org. Help support our mission to protect and preserve our freedoms.
The thing that really stood out to me there was when he talked about the shifting baseline syndrome. And that's when they start to enact all these policies that take away your freedoms little by little. And when he said the thing about limiting how many children you can have, many people laugh at it and say, oh, that's not going to happen. This is the United States. Well, if you haven't been paying attention, in Pennsylvania, a House Democrat introduced a forced sterilization program. There you go. He talked about it. I'm sure he may not even know that this happened. But yet, Pennsylvania Democrat Christopher M. Rapp sent out a memorandum to all House members regarding his legislation that will enforce reproductive responsibility among men. The bill will force men to undergo vasectomies within 6 weeks from having their third child or their 40th birthday, whichever comes first. The legislation includes a $10,000 reward to whoever snitches to the proper authority on those who have failed to submit forced sterilization with the. If this isn't communism, please tell me what is. It's frustrating when you talk to people and they try to call you a conspiracy theorist or you're just making things up, and you see it. It's all right here in black and white. They're enacting all these policies throughout America that coincides with the mandates, and they're trying to sneak all this stuff in, and people are not paying attention. I think many are, because we see many people waking up, but we're waking up too slow. We're not stopping this enough, and this is what has to happen. See, I talked about this before, and again, not to talk about my own personal problems I have going on in my life, but my wife is a school teacher in New York City. She's been forced out of work right now, and I know many people who work with her who are against this, but they just gave in and folded and just succumbed to the mandates. So what we have here and what he says is true, and how somebody has to step up, and it looks like, I'm hoping that hopefully this is the beginning of a crescendo of continually Americans speaking out and really trying to stop these mandates, because it's just not right. It's illegal and it's unconstitutional, yet they're doing it and they're getting away with it. We got judges who are also don't pay attention to the Constitution. They also lean with their own political views, and it's just frustrating. But one thing I want to talk about is how leaders are born, and maybe these pilots may be the leaders. There's this video I saw, and it shows a guy who's dancing and everyone's laughing at him, and how he steps up and someone decides to join in, and how people, when two people did, another one joined, and eventually everybody that was there started to join in on the dance. At first he was a kook, but yet everyone went in there. And I just want to show you this video and watch how things can happen fast and how people will follow other people. And I think that's what we need. One of the things I always say is we don't seem to have anyone who's leading us in the direction. That's why our movement is so hurt. Yes, Trump leads, but he's not really organizing anything as far as what we can do to combat these mandates or anything like that. This is what we need. And I want you to watch this video and just see how everything can start and momentum can go our way real quick. Check out this video.
Movement happens start to finish in under 3 minutes, and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course, you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed. But what he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends. Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. The first follower is what transforms a lone nut into a leader. And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts, 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important to show not just the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So, notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. So, over the next minute, you'll see all of the those that prefer to stick with the crowd, because eventually they would be ridiculed for not joining in. And that's how you make a movement. But let's recap.
And there you go. You need a couple of few brave people to lead and to show people the way and the direction they need to go. And there you have it, more will follow. And I'm hoping and I pray that potentially this could be the start of something, of Americans finally fighting back and saying, enough is enough. We have to fight for our freedoms. Listen, I put my money where my mouth is. My wife has currently been released from work, and we're doing what we have to do. But unfortunately, not enough people are following, and I'm hoping that this could be the start of potentially Americans all over the world following and saying, enough is enough. We will not stand for this. And the most powerful thing we have is the word no. And that's what we have to understand. Everybody's so worried about, oh, I can't do this because I have to feed my family. Listen, we all have to feed our families. We all have to do what's good for our families. But in the long run, is taking the freedom away from your family any better? Is the freedom to choose for yourself any better? No. So anyway, that's where we are. Hopefully this is the beginning. The pilots will show the way for other Americans to lead, and we will fight this tyranny 100%. Anyway, thanks for watching. God bless America. God bless all of you. And of course, God bless our president, Donald J. Trump, who has showed how corrupt, how disgusting, and how unfair the leadership in the United States of America is. Thanks for watching.